was I the only one that was not impressed by Xi Jinping's performance? I couldn't be the only one, right?
For those who conclude these are all AI, do you know how Chinese people are laughing at you on Chinese social media?
Most of the military equipment they demonstrated in this parade was technology most likely stolen from the United States or our allies.
Steal what? The technology you don't even have?
Hello amazing viewer, delighted to have you once more at Comfort for Life. I bring to you compilations of TikTok and Red Note videos for educational purposes. If you are new here, consider subscribing, and to my returning viewers, I love and appreciate you. Thank you so much for keeping it up here. You guys are the real MVP. I long believed in the expression, if you can't beat them, you join them. But what I've been observing from this military parade, especially comments coming from a particular side of the world that is obsessed with China. I don't know how these people do their friendship, because I know they're in good relationships. You know, these toxic relationships that always end up well. Yeah, so this is what you're going to be looking into right now. So if you can't join them, you bash them. This is what was happening, especially in response to the parade from some Americans. Some would say it's AI generated. Some would say I wasn't pleased. And I am wondering, was the purpose of the parade meant to please Americans? Like the video for recommendation and let's dive into
For
this.
those who conclude these are all AI, do you know how Chinese people are laughing at you on Chinese social media? Sorry, I didn't mean anything bad, but it's 100% not AI. Definitely, absolutely not AI. But at least we can see it as a compliment, right? I know where your doubt comes from, but Chinese army are just showing their discipline. You know, discipline is the most important thing for army. And for the last century, the humiliations and tragedies the China, this nation, has gone through are just incomparable. You can check my last video. That was China's darkest, weakest, and least dignified time. So, you know, Chinese soldiers have great willpower. And for this military parade, they have rehearsed with half a year in advance. They rehearsed so many times. So that's the final result you see. Because they know how this parade means to this nation. Everyone tries to do their best.
Here is how China showed up America and the world with its military parade. Well, I mean, they showed America that China is still a decade or more behind us, but they showed their smaller and weaker neighbors that, yeah, if China wanted to invade them, it might actually work. The United States didn't just discover for the first time China's military capability with this parade. We have 5,000 satellites out of the total 6,000 orbiting the planet, and a good chunk of those are watching everything that China does and makes. What China really showed the world was that they just can't help themselves when it comes to taking pages out of Western authoritarian books. That's it. The last time it was new to have these types of military parades was pre-World War II Germany. So yeah, good luck China. Very original. Let's take a look at how you operate your equipment versus how pretty and intricate you can make your soldiers dance around, because yeah, that's really useful on the battlefield. Just the other week, 2 Chinese naval vessels in Philippine territory crashed into each other while they were trying to bully a smaller Filipino ship. Good job, Chinese Navy. Speaking of the Chinese Navy, what about nuclear-powered submarines? You know, that new one that came out around October of 2024, which was supposed to be cutting edge, and then it sank when it was launched? What about China's attempt at having a reusable rocket? Nope. Still not working. Oh, but you know, the coup de grace of the Chinese military capability is, of course, their 6th generation jet, which nobody currently has. Yet they showed their 5th generation jets during this military parade. I wonder why. Maybe because they don't have a true 6th gen jet. Speaking of jets and overall Chinese military tech, the vast majority of everything China has was either copied from Russia or the United States, because one thing the Chinese are good at is stealing superior technology. You got to give it to them. And when it comes to China's air defense capabilities, you know, the things to take out planes and missiles and stuff, all right, a third of that is from Russian tech, the S-400, but those were demolished by US F-35s in Syria. And oh my gosh, they have the LY-1 laser system, which can shoot very powerful beams at low-flying helicopters, drones, and maybe some slower missiles. Woo! And while the Chinese laser can take out a couple of drones at one time, the US Leonidas can take out hundreds, if not thousands, in one sitting. So, good luck trying to copy that, China. We'll give you another decade. But I will say this about China. Even though their technology may not be top tier, they still can produce a great deal of it. Their scale of production is quite impressive. Yet even with this great scale, they're not able to deploy any of it to this tiny little island about 100 miles away from them. You know, doesn't seem like they're very confident in their ability to transport all that equipment and hardware. While the United States has been able to ship an entire army halfway across the world and take over countries since the 1950s. But I will say this in China's defense. They have been learning very quickly. And while the US still has an edge, if we choose to stay stupid or not import as many brilliant immigrants as we were, China can eventually catch up. But even if they did, they still have one crucial flaw. They are an authoritarian regime. The orders strictly come from the top down, and there is no true individuality or thinking on your own at the bottom rung, while the exact opposite is true in the US. One quote is that the US is more agile in battle because it has a bottom-up culture where decisions can be made and adapted on the ground in response to evolving situations. China can have flashy platforms and systems, but they will not move a finger until they receive an order from the top. And that is not something China will be able to adapt to in this generation or the next, unless they decide to get rid of authoritarianism, which, good luck. And I will add another thing to China's case. Even if the US and China ever went to war, the US would have to win very quickly because China does have 1.4 billion people. They have a lot of soldiers that they could mobilize very quickly. And in the beginning, I believe China would lose and lose and lose, and they would fail so much until they started to learn how to win. And the US doesn't want to teach a large and potentially powerful enemy how to defeat them. And if you ask my opinion, I don't know if the US is ever going to go to war with China, just like we didn't go to war with the USSR, even though everybody for decades swore it was inevitable. And look what happened. And also, one huge deterrent for China to go to war with the United States is Ukraine's dismantling of Russia's energy infrastructure. If China can't get access to cheap energy like they're doing right now, how on earth would they be able to last? I am the Geo Husar, and I'll start worrying about America's military supremacy when we stop importing our scientists from India, Mexico, the Philippines, and Vietnam. Thanks for watching.
Look, when I see Xi Jinping, Vladimir Putin, Kim Jong-un, I'm just not impressed. I think America is the biggest and the baddest. I saw your little rockets. I saw your little tiny soldiers marching around acting like us, dressed like us, right? Doing what we do, pretending to be a big bad army like we are. I can't be the only one that wasn't impressed, right? Like, I just wasn't, right? I'm never impressed when I see their stuff. And this has nothing to do with their race. It has everything to do with the confidence that I have in them bunker busters I just saw. Listen, what do y'all think was cooler? When Vladimir Putin came over here, stepped off the plane, we had the biggest, baddest birds in the sky fly right over to remind him that, hey, we have angels in the sky and they will fly wherever, whenever, and you'll never know. That's basically what he said when he did that, right? That's impressive to me. That's impressive to me. So 1 week, you fly halfway across the world. No one even notices. Everybody, all these countries are supposed to have the best radars and they can spot and see anything. Well, guess what? America flew over there, right? No one knew. Dropped some of the biggest bombs we got, hit the target, and went back home like it was nothing. I'm impressed with that kind of stuff, okay? Not only that, some of that equipment that they played parading around, it didn't even look that good. Like, I don't know why. The stuff that comes out of China that they make, I'm just not impressed with it. Their drones, like, it's just, I don't know. They look like props. It didn't look real. I can't be the only one who felt like this, right? Like, that was a cool parade. Okay, but was I impressed? Absolutely not. I felt like I could beat up Any of them soldiers. Like, they don't, I'm just not impressed. And listen, excuse me for acting like a ignorant American, but I'm just simply telling the truth, man. I wasn't impressed. The soldiers don't look intimidating. Yes, will they pew pew you like without hesitation? Yes, but me sitting at home looking at them watching this, I wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed because we got the big bad U.S. Army and the Marines and the Air Force and the Navy, and I believe that they are the baddest MFers on the planet. Okay, I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? We got some crazy stuff. We got laser beams that'll just zap your ass out of nowhere. Okay, they got ships in the ocean with laser beams that will just zap. Okay, y'all want to see a mountain in Nevada crack open and one of them bunker busters shoot out? I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you. You guys may think it's a joke, but I'm serious. When it comes to weapons and the possibility of mass destruction, I'm terrified of what America will do because we got the biggest, baddest weapons. And again, we got another one, okay? These people love to hate the big bad USA, but it is what it is. So look, tell me what your country will do when Russia and China invade the USA. Look at the state you're in. You'll be defeated. You need to leave the USA. The USA government, he goes on to say, doesn't even care about you because that's the same government that enslaved you. Well, guess what, buddy? No one can invade America because we're in the middle of Canada and Mexico. We're in the middle. The whole continent is the Americas. We're just the United States of the Americas. Okay, so that's a history lesson for you. Okay. Secondly, we have the best Navy in the world. In the world. So you can yap all you want, player. You can yap all you want. Y'all can call me a coon. It doesn't bother me. Okay. I'm not a China lover. Okay. I'm an America lover. This is where I'm from. Why would I look at somebody else's army and be like, yeah, they're better than us? Especially when I know that they're not. We can't be invaded, buddy. You need to learn some geography. See, it's getting hard to deal with you people because y'all, you know, you guys aren't all the way there yet. You get what I'm saying? Not only that, you don't really know the history. America has never been invaded. You goofball. You see, it's getting hard to deal with you people. It's getting hard to deal with y'all. Y'all, I mean, I'm telling you, man, the level of thinking on TikTok is getting lower and lower and lower. And it's becoming a problem because y'all get to saying stuff like this. What are you going to do when Russia and China invade you? They're not going to invade shit. They're not going to do anything. Did you know that the American public have more guns than the military? Do you know that? Do you know that Americans love to fight and shoot? And we can't wait. We dream about it, right? We dream of some other country trying to invade us because now I get to shoot my guns that people in your country or wherever you're from don't get to own, right? We got freedom of speech. And if I have freedom of speech, I better be able to back it up, right? So that's what the Second Amendment is for, okay? This is America, all right? I'm a home team player, and I'm never going to look at somebody else's army and say that they're better than us. Stop it.
In a perfect world, there will be no country. The people just live wherever they live, obey the local law. That's it. But we don't live in a perfect world. That's why we still need country. So countries still need to have armies to protect the border. So once in a while, the country will have a parade to show the ability to defend the border. So don't be scared. Actually, I was accused a lot by people like how I align myself with the Chinese government. The fact is, I don't even know a lot of policy of Chinese government. I haven't lived in China for so long, but many things I know about China, I happen to agree. Like, who wouldn't like to have a fantastic infrastructure of high-speed railway? I didn't get to enjoy it, but I have to say that's a great policy. And there's a lot more. So I definitely recommend you guys to know more about China. One of my biggest, the lucky thing that I did was I get to know another country so well, another culture so well, the United States. That is priceless. My life just expand in a way that you can't imagine. I don't want you to miss that. You need to know China.